Yo, hey, what's up guys? I'm doing a quick video in response to Captain Cummings' contest and a really cool subject in regards to this contest that I want to go ahead and touch base on. A couple things, guys. In order to enter this contest, go to his, I'll put a link in the bottom of my comments here. Take a look at his page, subscribe to his page. The subject is, in order to enter, you need to give him either, number one, a comment or a video response into what is your favorite versus comic book, or at least title or storyline. Now with me, that's a really sensitive subject because that's kind of why I'm doing this video. That's the reason why I started collecting, or at least reading comic books when I was little, was versus. I love versus battles. And they were really cool stories. And when I got older and older, when I got into other comic books, other storylines, you know, with DC, those are the main ones that fascinated me. If it had two superheroes or two villains, or at least a superhero and a major villain fighting each other, those were the first comic books that I went to go pick up. So when this contest came about, I'm like, I knew from the get-go, I'm going to enter this contest. It was really hard for me to choose just one particular. So I chose three. The third one, the third favorite, all-time favorite for me in my list, or at least in my collection, is this one, Batman and Spawn. Now, I'm not too quite sure if you guys know, there is another individual on YouTube, Hippie's Collectibles. He just did a video, something similar to this, where it's Batman and Spawn. However, that's the DC one. This one is the Image variant, or at least version, and I like it way better than the DC one. And the reason why is because it's just the artwork, number one, looks way better, and if you can tell. However, the storyline it's a little rough. It is by Frank Miller. Drawings are by Todd McFarlane. And one thing that I really enjoy the most out of this particular one is at the very end of the battle, the very last page, or I'm sorry, the third to last page, it shows Batman throwing a boomerang or batarang in Spawn's face. And as you can tell, it's lodged in Spawn's face. Now this image, or at least this action scene, created a scar on Spawn for a long time. It actually continued into Spawn's normal storyline with this scar bandaged, or at least taped up. And he did mention that he did fight another character that left him that scar. And it seemed to be, it gave the impression that Batman, you know, kicked Spawn's butt. But I really like that. So that's number three. Number two, guys, my all-time favorite is this one, Superman versus Doomsday. This one kind of hit a really sensitive note for me because I think I was like maybe 12 or 13 years old when this came out. And comic books were more of a reading hobby for me at that time. But after the Superman came out, I started becoming more of a collector. I went after the high grade, you know, I kind of developed my anal personality when it comes to searching for comic books. And what I mean by that is, in my previous video, I mentioned when I go to the comic book store, I just don't pull the first one off the rack. I actually pull the whole bundle off the rack and I go through them carefully, you know, looking for the spine, if there's spine damage, if there's corner damage, if there's dents. I started that during the Superman and Doomsday. I went to local supermarkets. I searched all over with my mother looking for each copy of the Superman versus Doomsday and picking out the best comic books, and I kind of developed that trait, being anal from that point on. The artwork in this trade, guys, of course, I'm pretty sure most of you have seen this, especially you seasoned collectors. You know what the Superman Doomsday Saga is. But there's one scene that I remember, you know, kind of tearing up at the end when I was 12, 13 years old, was the scene where, you know, Lois Lane is holding Superman in her arms, and Superman's basically asking, you know, is he dead? Did I get him? And Lois Lane is confirming, yes, rest, you know, he's dead. That one I remember tearing up at when I was at that age, because it was a really sensitive subject for me, because Superman was like a hero and he's finally dead. So this is number two, guys. Number one, here it goes. World War Hulk. This story arc, guys, is my most favorite comic book versus storyline in my entire collection. This particular issue, not so, but I felt kind of weird only displaying 1 out of the 5 issues from the story arc, because it expands. It expands through 5 issues and even previous issues before that, kind of leading into the finale. World War Hulk issue 1 of 5 is the beginning of the finale. This one details the fight between the Hulk and all of Earth's greatest superheroes. I don't really want to indulge too much on the Hulk, or at least the World War Hulk storyline, because what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to put a couple links in the bottom of my description. Take a look, expand the whole description, okay? There's a couple other YouTube videos that I want you to take a look at in case you've never heard of World War Hulk, you've never read the storyline or any issues. Those videos actually capture all of the great moments within the World War Hulk. So anyways, guys, this one is part 1. It's a variant cover of the World War Hulk. I want to go ahead and show you the other covers leading up to my favorite one, my favorite battle. Here is the standard normal cover of World War Hulk 1. Here is issue 2. That one's a really cool one. I know the glare, guys. Sorry about the glare. But that one actually has black costume Spider-Man, the Fantastic Four, there's She-Hulk right there. It's a really, really cool cover. Here is the variant one. Here is issue 3, which I had signed by David Finch. That's my favorite cover for this storyline. It has the Hulk holding up a huge tank with missiles flying at him. It's a really cool cover. And then for David Finch's autograph, I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's right there. And then here is the variant cover for issue 3. And then here is issue 4, and it's only the variant cover. I still need to get the standard cover, but yeah, he goes up against Doctor Strange, believe it or not. I know a lot of you think Doctor Strange is super powerful, but unfortunately I don't think you guys realize, if you haven't read this issue, the Hulk actually breaks Doctor Strange's hands, so he won't be able to cast spells. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, not cool for Doctor Strange, but you get the point. And my favorite, guys, number 1, my favorite battle versus is this one right here. Issue 5. This is the variant cover. The Incredible Hulk goes up against Sentry. This battle scene, guys, it's awesome. It's epic. It's huge. Explosions, crashing through buildings. Oh man, it was great. It was awesome. The best fighting scene against the Hulk that I've ever seen, that I've ever read. Again, in my description, guys, I'll put a link. Now, take a look at that video, guys. He added his own voice, his own special effects. And it's a really, really awesome video because it actually does better justice than reading the comic book. So if you have never read this one, if you don't know anything about it, take a look at that video. It's really awesome. Now, along with the storyline, guys, Incredible Hulk, or at least World War Hulk, continued on to other various storylines within Marvel. Here's a really, really cool cover. Ghost Rider goes up against the Incredible Hulk. And it was a 2-parter. There's part 1, a really cool cover, and here's part 2. And if you can tell, there's the Hulk in the background with a giant sword that the Hulk was carrying, and there's Ghost Rider's remains. Cool. And another one, guys, 3 more that I'm going to show you. I know I showed these off a little bit ago in a previous video, but World War Hulk against the X-Men. I finally read this a couple weeks ago, and I loved it. It is awesome. Really cool, and it tells you how strong the Hulk is. He basically wiped out through the whole senior class of the X-Men. And what I mean by senior class: Colossus, Wolverine, Cyclops, Storm, Kitty Pryde. He pretty much beat everyone. But again, I don't want to indulge too much, but that's cover 1. Here is cover 2. That one's pretty cool. And cover 3. And one good thing about this issue number 3 here, if I don't know if 74 Susu's taken a look at this video, but it doesn't give a brief battle between Juggernaut and the Incredible Hulk. I was kind of disappointed in that battle because it really did not give a lot of detail, or at least a lot of storyline into, you know, who's stronger. They had a little kind of, you know, power match, and then eventually the Hulk kind of outsmarted the Juggernaut. The Juggernaut went flying into a lake or river, and that was it. So anyways, it was a really cool battle scene though, because it kind of gave the intention at the very end. It's like the Hulk is this powerful being, you know, I killed all, you know, I didn't kill, but I went through, I destroyed your whole X-Men clan, Professor X, and then all of a sudden, here comes Juggernaut. It was really cool. So that's pretty much it, guys. I hope this video wasn't too long, but you kind of get the point. This is who I am. This is why I love comic books, is because of versus battles. I love these. And I eventually hope one day to have all of the main key and maybe little mini battles here and there that everyone talks about, everyone wants to wonder, like, hey, who's stronger, the Hulk or Gladiator? Or who's stronger, you know, Juggalo or Doctor Strange? I want all those battles only because it's just, I love to answer them, you know, like, oh yeah, did you know in this issue, blah, 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 they battled and this person won or this person almost won. I don't know, I just like to have that info. So, again, guys, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, hit me up, let me know. Leave a comment below, like this video, and, you know, like I said, take a look at those other videos I have in my description. They're really cool. Thanks for watching, guys, and peace.